It's cool. It's cool. Hi. Hello. How do you do today? I'm Marge. I'm a Heyoka empath. I just like doing these little talks on the way I feel about things. I was reading about Heyoka this morning. I do it every time. Just see what else is coming out, because new stuff is coming out all the time. I like when I read about how they can't, which one was it? I heard it my whole life, so it's just more of the same, but every now and again you hear something different. What was it today? Did I lose it? Let me go see if I can go back a little bit. It's early. I didn't read the bottom of this cup forever, and I was like, what a weird cup. Then one day, I think I was doing a video, and I was like, what? Oh, okay. So, things are getting crazy. The divide is trying to conquer. It's not in that browser. Is it in this one? Let's see here. I don't think I'm going to be able to find it. I think it's just gone. I think the tech doesn't care. Hi, Benny. Please go lay down. I don't want to hang out with you right now. Thank you. I love you. Goodbye. I just don't. I don't. Love you. We'll hang out later. It was snowing so hard this morning. It was snowing so hard. And, when I got up, and then I bundled up and freaking had to, take the dogs out on the leash. Whoopee! I just want to freaking let them open the door and let them all out. Just open the door and let them all out. Without them running off, of course. Anyway. So, cops are running over people in cars, and people are running over people in cars. That's the new thing. That's the latest. That 59, 58-year-old cop on the force, 31 years. Well, that's long enough to fucking know that you don't run over people. Time to retire, sir. Time to not absorb that paycheck every month. And he was probably out there causing shit. And then got over his head. And then fucking panicked. God, man. Let me tell you something about the police. I'm sure there's good ones. I haven't met, no, I did meet one. I stand corrected. I met a cool one outside in Klamath Falls. About 2 o'clock in the morning when I was driving through to Arizona. He was a cool cop. So there was one, but in 46 years, that's a stretch to meet one really cool cop in 46 years. I've had cops put me in handcuffs outside of them. I just pig shit. Pig shit. Hog shit. Just control freak. I know about the control freak. I've been around the control freak my whole life. My mom used to be so controlling. It's very controlling. She tried to. I'm a free spirit. I can't be controlled. So the thing I got off track about Heyoka. People control me. It goes weird. Things go weird when people try to control me. That's why I could only do freaking 6 years in the Air Force. The Air Force. Couldn't stand the Swing and Wiener Club. Who's in charge and how they feel that day. That's why I enlisted, is because my whole life I looked for a place on this freaking earth where something was a constant. Something was always the same way it was. And in the military it was worse, because you have all these egos, and you put these egos in charge, and then they do dance, puppet, dance. Do as I say just because I said so, even though there's not really any rational thought behind my thinking, but I got brass and I'm an ass. It's the Air Force. And I think it's funny, see, cause I'm a Heyoka, I see freaking full spectrum in everything. Everything I see I see the shadow and the light of everybody, and I meet them at their light, And then they see the shadow in me, and then they meet me with my shadow. And that is funny to me, because we could have been cool. People want to flash and flare, and it's like, all right, we'll dance. Let's dance. I thought it was interesting. That we're not hearing. I mean, it's just like, it's like, age of accountability. Let me just talk about age of accountability. I have always had to take responsibility. People have said, you do this, you are going to be, my whole life, little kid, responsible for your actions, responsible for your behavior, just grilling it into me. To the point that I used to tell on myself. I'd do something break, I'd go tell on myself. Then I'd get in trouble. So really, is honesty the best method? This is where I think people swayed off a lot. We've just been misguided, and people, bottom line, we have our own bullshit meters. People shut them off. Because they want to please, they want to make people around them happy. They don't want to live for themselves. They want to live for other people. So either we're going to live more for ourselves or for other people. I live for myself. I'm used to being alone. Mom isn't a big conversationalist a lot. All she likes to do is watch Longmire. 6 seasons of Longmire. And that's all I do is I freaking change. This is my life. This is why I went to college. This is why I went to the Air Force. This is what I did. So I could live in New Mexico, change DVs, and make food and let dogs out on the leash all day. It's so fun. Benny! Get out of the closet! There's nothing for you in there! Thank you, middleman! Get up there! Lay down! Accountability. Do people even know what accountability is? You say you're gonna do something, do it. You say you're gonna do something, do it. The world we live in, everybody's running their fucking mouths, and people don't do it. They don't say it. They aren't on time. Why are we still using time? Why is time still relevant? How many people don't go by time? They don't have a need to be anywhere. And then you have the soul spirit, the soul sack that encompasses the soul sack that encompasses the spirit that just likes to create havoc. Have you met these people? Have you met anyone like that? What's the other word? It's like the dark side of Heyoka. I've been that. When I haven't been in spirit, I've been the dark side of Heyoka. It starts with a W, I think. But there's so many different readings. There's so many different perceptions of what things are. I just go by my heart. But people just like to stir the pot, just like to start trouble. I never understood those people. Because it's just like, have you ever lived in trouble? Have you ever been in chaos? It's not fun. It's not fun at all. So why people like to perpetuate, just like make stuff up? None of that stuff is. I remember when I was being taught that movies weren't real and actors weren't real. They just got paid to do what they did on the screen, and then they go home to their families and their wives, and they have their real lives. And I was thinking, so when they kiss people, they're pretending like they're kissing the person, it's pretend. Yeah. It's all pretend. But I couldn't differentiate because they told me that they still went home to their wives. So in my mind, every time I saw somebody on the movie, they were cheating on their spouses. See, I always looked at actors. I wanted to be an actor at some point. Hell, we all are actors. We all act every day. We act like we freaking. Some of us act better than we feel. Some of us act worse than we feel. We're all acting some kind of way. And look, Stanley's over here in the window. He likes to come and hang out with me. This is my office in the morning, so I can just wake up. There he is. He's on a little TV stand. I put one of my hoodies up there for cushion. He's such a good cat. God, they're all such good animals. I get mad at myself when I want time by myself because I should just want to love everything all the time. But no, we got to recharge our batteries, man. Anyway, and I learned that I felt bad about myself. If I didn't do what I said I was going to do, I'd feel real shitty about myself. I'd feel real crappy. It'd be like a density, a density. And that's why it was being a drunk, that's what sucked the worst. And that's one of the biggest parts about drunks is the most disappointing is because they're not accountable. They don't do it. A lot of them don't do what they say they're going to do. Say they're going to show up someplace, they don't show up. It don't matter. Drunks know drunks. It's just really hard to not have things in life that you can count on. To take the wheel for some of the heavy burdening things. Yeah, God. At the same time, I'm a human being. It's believing things. The intangible is not an easy place to be for me. Even though you can't see the wind, and that moves a lot of stuff too. That is a lot of power, and a lot of times you can't see the wind. It snowed a lot this morning when I got up and out. And now it's not. And I have my appointment at the DMV at 2. Roads are going to be all cleared, and it's supposed to snow around 1 or 2, around them. The stuff's I don't like doing it because there's rules and regulations, and it's just like, let me sign this paper, do this and do this. But whenever I go someplace, there's always extra. It's never just what it is. It's always more. So, and it's been so cold. I need to keep it colder in the trailer cooler. I need to not set the thermostat so high because it's so warm in here, and then I get warm, and then I go outside and I get cold, and it's the temperature differences. It's that change of temperature that makes people sick. And I was starting to do the runny nose thing yesterday. I'm not now. I've had like one cold in the last 17. There's like. I was still 2004, 6 years, 7 years. And before that it was like 10 years. So I've had like one cold in freaking 17 years. I had things I was going to talk about, and I really don't think I touched on any of them. I know I was thinking about accountability this morning, just doing what you say you're going to do. And a lot of times I won't say I'm going to do something just because I'm not sure if I'm going to be able to get it done. For me, it's just best if I do it, and then, okay, it's done. But when people say they're going to do it, make this hype, look at what I'm going to do, and then don't do it, it's just like, you're more of the same. So, I went slumming on Twatter this morning. Slumming around on Twatter. I don't do that much. I'm about ready to finish my account. The only reason why I keep it is because I message Jessie sometimes, and sometimes she messages me back. That's kind of cool. But, are people feeling the combustible energy? Are they feeling all the fray? The fringe? The fringe is about to minge. It's about to binge on the fringe. People are about to binge on the fringe. Because, man, everything's woo-woo. You've been telling us our whole life how things aren't. And then living the way that they are which are exactly what they say they aren't. I remember seeing an episode of Captain Kangaroo when I was a little girl, and there was this little segment that they had where a guy lived in the mirror. Like when you looked in the reflection of a mirror, he lived in there and everything was upside down. and backwards. And I've always thought that way. I've always looked at the opposite side of every situation. So I'm not a popular person. I'm not. Heyoka aren't popular. We're cool till we're cool until we freaking piss somebody off or hurt somebody's feelings. But the fact of it is like every emotion, it's in people. I hurt my own feelings. When I get my feelings hurt, it's because I'm choosing to have my feelings hurt, because there's all these other emotions that people could choose to have. Yet what they choose is the lower vibrational ones, because those have served them. You know, people have felt sorry for them. They've coddled them. They've babied them. You know, people get sick a lot because when they're sick, they get attention. But at some point, everybody gets annoyed because they know you're not really sick. And so that way, I mean, it's just, I love psychology. And it's oh so look at all these articles on Heyoka. And I don't have 1,000 subs yet. It's stupid. All the people like Trump. Trump's Heyoka. We have the same astrological signs. Yeah. We're the ones that say the stuff that people are thinking that people just would never dare to say. You know. We're truth speakers, the real kind. And some of us have had actual life experience. We've had a broader spectrum. We've been to hell. We've lived in hell. We've made fun of hell. We've raised the vibe in hell. We could make heaven on earth, but so many people are scared. They're oh so scared. They're so scared. They're so scared. Why don't you get motivated, get your ass up off the couch, I don't care what the weather is, go walk around the block. Really, really fast. Get your heart rate up. Get your body moving. Be physical. Get healthy. Healthy people don't get sick. If you don't get sick, you won't get the ailment that 99% of the population. And I do have a friend who was in the 1%. He died. Yes, he did. Rest in peace, Pete. Still, he's a diabetic, ate like shit. You know, it's like accountability. But people don't want to be accountable. It's just easier for them to sit on their couch and be scared and want everybody to freak because they're in a higher percentile. You know? That's what they should do. They should give the shot by BMI. Body mass index. If that ain't a pile of shit, the whole body mass index. If you take the measurement of your waist above your belly 1 inch, and if you do your hips and this, and that just tells you how much it's just the only accurate way you could do it is in water. Is the only accurate way you can take your BMI, but that's more Air Force shit. We don't want to get into that. What time is it? So, what if we did that? Anybody else on the planet can have mine. The anthrax vaccine put my body into a level of that it never would have been in had. And see, the anthrax, you get two at one time. Both arms. 0.5 what is that? It's not on that browser. I'll look it up. I'll print out the MSDS that I got. They put formaldehyde in it. That's why your arm burns, folks. Why your arm burns for the day? Because they store it for formaldehyde. And that's the stuff. How many shots? You get a flu shot? Stored for formaldehyde. You get it on top of all the other crap. What does that do? Your endocrine system. Everybody is going to be up here. Short tempered. That's why I keep my health. I got my tempers like this. I never put my hands on a person out of anger. Unless they grab me first. Anybody ever been in a fight? Anybody ever been punched in the face? Anybody see anybody accidentally come across something that you didn't want to see? Ever see a man force himself on a woman in real life? and then not ever get in trouble for it? Ever been bit by a dog? I've probably been bit by a dog probably 15 times. Different dogs. My dogs, other people's dogs. And I don't react. I don't flinch. I do after, but not during. I have not been shot. I have not been shot. I don't want to be shot. That's not a human experience I want to have. No, hot lead. It's hot lead traveling 1,000 miles an hour through air. It's going to make you hot and then it's going to land in your skin. You think hot wax hurts? Hot lead. And then you have I'm not really a gun person. I'm trying to share an experience, because there's so many people that haven't had anything happen to them. Like their mommy and daddy took care of them their whole life. They went to college. They got married. They started having kids. The kids started having kids. They look back at their life. Oh, what a wonderful life. And they don't know about anything else that all these other people have to endure. The tunnel people, the tunnel people. Who thinks about the tunnel people? I pray every day for the tunnel people. People that have been in tunnels. People that have been at the end of tunnels. all the people say that we are here to help. We are paid. Congress House of Representatives just got a pay rate. They already made $174,000. Now they're up over $200,000. $200,000 a year. They work for the House of Representatives, so it's probably tax-free. Somehow. No, it's probably not tax-free. But who cares? You pay that. You make that much money. And everything else is freaking written off. Mileage, food, everything. Boom, boom. They don't pay for anything. And they also work less than half a year. So what we're going to see more of, because what we're seeing now is we see a whole nation that's really tired of this, and then we see a few people at top. But the people that are at the top, they got the technology. But let me tell you something, folks. I grew up in the 70s and 80s and 90s. There's a big old world out there with plenty of connectivity without this. I can preach anyway. I don't need the tube, my tiny little tube. I just go out in the street and talk to people. Just seeing the world a different kind of way, because so many people only see it one way. One way. Politicians are going to make sure that everyone's okay. Have you ever talked to a politician? There's not a whole lot going up in there. They're kind of flat. Poli-sci majors. My brother's one. It's all reindeer games. They have created a society sustained on made-up games. Made-up games. Law? It's a game. Oh yeah, there's a spirit of the law. There's a letter of the law and this spirit of the law. But with so many control freaks, it doesn't matter what the freaking letter of the law, because they've taken all the spirit out of it. Look at how many people are still locked up. Still locked up in states that marijuana is legal now. But there's stuff from like crap freaking infarctions that happened 15, 20 years ago. Right? See, because we live in a world that money matters more than people. People don't matter. People don't matter. People are running over people with cars. They don't care. They're so freaking vibed out of their mind because they're so scared because they have nothing to believe in. And how are you going to believe in anything else if you've never been an accountable person yourself? That's what I got to remember every time I say, I'm going to do something. I'm pretty good about doing it. Otherwise, every now and again I do stuff I don't think, I don't do what I say I'm going to do. Then I got to try and make it right. That stuff eats my lunch. Anyway, I'm going to read this and go. The Warrior's Prayer. His mom needs breakfast soon. She hasn't even had toast yet. Usually she gets up, has toast, and then like an hour I'll make her breakfast. Alright. The warrior's prayer. I am what I am, and having faith in the beauty within me, I develop trust. In softness I have strength. In silence I walk with the gods. In peace I understand myself and the world. In conflict I walk away. In detachment I am free. In respecting all living things I respect myself. In dedication I honor the courage within me. In eternity I have compassion for the nature of all things. In love I unconditionally accept the evolution of others. In freedom I have power. In my individuality I express the God force within me. In service I give of what I have become. I am what I am, eternal, immortal, universal, and infinite. And so it be. Hope you have a